The movie begins with Lucy and her week-long fling Richard. After a short conversation about the fun they had the night before, Lucy tells him she's leaving. But Richard has one last favor he needs from her: deliver a briefcase to a man inside a hotel named Mr. Jang. Lucy doesn't want to do this. She says no, multiple times. But Richard doesn't care. He handcuffs the briefcase to her wrist. She's stunned, upset, confused, betrayed. Shaking with fear, Lucy walks into the hotel. At the front desk, she nervously tells the receptionist that she's there to meet Mr. Jang. The receptionist calls Mr. Jang, but instead of confirming the meeting, Mr. Jang wants to know her name. This makes her even more anxious. The receptionist tells her to wait exactly where she is. Lucy turns to look at Richard through the window. And just like that, a shot rings out. His blood sprays across the glass. Chaos erupts. As people scatter, Lucy is grabbed by Jang's men and dragged into an elevator. Inside a room upstairs, they force her to open the briefcase herself. Jang doesn't trust Richard. He keeps his distance. Lucy enters the code, terrified it might be a bomb. But it isn't. Inside are 4 plastic bags, filled with a glowing blue powder. Mr. Jang steps forward, curious now. He cuts one of the bags and draws a little of the powder out with a straw. They bring in a scruffy-looking man to test it. He snorts it. The reaction is immediate, intense. It shocks Lucy, but the others laugh. Then, suddenly, Jang shoots the man in the head. The room falls silent. Jang scolds his men for being unprofessional. Then he walks over to Lucy, gets close, and offers her a job. It's not negotiable. Lucy's eyes go wide, horrified, but she doesn't even get the chance to respond. Jang's man punches her straight in the face. She wakes up in a hotel room, dazed. Her stomach is bandaged and bloody. Medical tools sit beside her. Jang's men walk in, speaking another language. One of them throws her clothes. Lucy's taken to Jang's office, where she demands to know what they did to her. A doctor explains the surgery was successful. They've implanted one of the drug bags into her stomach. She's to be a mule, trafficking the drug CPH4 into Europe. The doctor jokes about the name, asking if she has a better suggestion. Lucy is too stunned to respond. 2 other men enter. They've also been forced into the same job. Each of them is handed a passport and reminded that if they disobey, their families will be killed. All 3 have hoods pulled over their heads and are led away. Lucy wakes up again, this time in a grimy, dark room surrounded by men harassing her. She fights back, but one of the men kicks her hard in the stomach. The bag inside her ruptures. She convulses violently on the floor, overdosing on the drug. The scene cuts. Meanwhile, Professor Samuel Norman is giving a lecture on human evolution. He explains humans only use 15% of their brain, and if we could access even 25%, we'd be unstoppable. A student asks, what happens if we use 100%? Norman says, I don't know. We cut back to Lucy. She's changed. Calm, still glowing. A man enters her cell holding a gun and a key. Lucy slowly spreads her legs, luring him in. When he approaches, she traps his wrist between her thighs and throws him across the room. She uses his belt to pull a table close, grabs the gun, and frees herself. Lucy walks out and guns down Jang's men outside, then sits and eats their untouched food and drinks. She notices she's been shot. Without hesitation, she reaches into her wound and removes the bullet, analyzing it with eerie calm. She loads up with weapons and heads out. Outside, she finds 2 taxi drivers. She asks if either speaks English. One recognizes her and lies, saying no. Lucy shoots him in the leg. Now terrified, the second driver agrees to take her to the hospital. In the car, Lucy realizes she can hear phone conversations happening far away. She stares at the driver, confused that he can't hear them too. At the hospital, she walks past screens that pulse as she passes. She enters a surgery room mid-operation. She scans the man on the table, checks his x-rays, and shoots him, stating he had advanced cancer and couldn't be saved anyway. Then she turns to the doctors and tells them there's a bag of drugs inside her. One passes out. The rest scramble to prepare anesthetic. Lucy stops them. She wants it done now. No time for painkillers. While they prep, she grabs a phone and calls her mom. Lucy doesn't explain what happened, just what she can now do. She remembers everything, even the taste of her mother's milk. Her mom is bewildered. The call ends as the doctor pulls the bag from Lucy's stomach. He asks what the drug is. Lucy says, CPH4. His face changes instantly. He explains the drug is naturally produced in tiny amounts by pregnant women around the 6th week of pregnancy, powerful enough to spark a baby's development. In synthetic form and that quantity, he says he is surprised. Lucy is still alive. Lucy calmly replies, not for long. She returns to the hotel from earlier. In the hallway, she kills one of Jang's men. Then she fires through a door, hitting every target behind it. Inside, Jang is getting a tattoo. Lucy forces the tattoo artist to leave. She then jams 2 knives through Jang's hands, pinning them to the armrests. She explains she now has access to the deepest layers of her brain and unlimited power. She digs into Yang's memories with her powers and finds out where the other drug mules were sent: Berlin, Paris, and Rome. She thanks him sarcastically and walks away, leaving him screaming with blades still stuck in his hands. Lucy visits her friend's apartment. The friend rambles about boy problems while Lucy scans the internet at superhuman speed. Her friend asks about Richard. Lucy says, "He's dead." The friend jokes, "You guys are crazy," and walks off to shower. On the laptop, Lucy finds Professor Norman. Cut to Norman's phone ringing. It's Lucy. She says she's read all 6,734 pages of his research and can recite them from memory. He thinks it's a prank until Lucy appears on his TV screen. She explains his brain capacity theories are mostly right. She tells him she's taken synthetic CPH4 and will soon access 100% of her brain, but it will kill her within 24 hours. Norman is stunned. Lucy tells him, "I'll be at your door in 12 hours. Next, Lucy prints prescriptions for her friend, bluntly advising her to fix her liver. Then, she leaves. She's now on the news, branded a highly dangerous woman. Lucy uses her powers to instantly change her hair and look, avoiding the description of a blonde suspect. She then calls a man named Del Rio. She tells him to get off his desk, grab the red pen nearby, and listen. She gives him info on the other 3 mules. He needs to arrest them before Jang's men find them. She warns him the drug is extremely dangerous. Del Rio is shaken. In Berlin, police arrest the first mule. Yang's men see it and back off. In Paris, same story. In Rome, the final mule resists, causes chaos, but is eventually taken down. Lucy is now on a plane. Passengers stare as she types endlessly into her laptop. She shows her powers again, making a flight attendant get a nosebleed and bring her champagne. She sips, but then her tooth falls out. Her body is rejecting the drug. She starts glitching, body warping. She stumbles to the bathroom and takes more CPH4, trying to stabilize herself. She disappears. Lucy wakes up in a hospital, restrained. A nurse sees she's awake and runs to get Del Rio. When he arrives, Lucy is already free. Lucy uses her powers to make everyone else is unconscious, except Del Rio. She walks over. The bullets in his gun drop to the floor. She asks about the packages. He confirms he has them in Paris. Lucy says they'll be safer with her, then walks out. In the car, Del Rio asks if he should be worried. Lucy tells him not to. She sees all phone connections flying into the sky, a visual overload of global data. She finds a man on the phone with Jang and changes the car's frequency to listen in. Then, with a blink, she swaps seats with Del Rio. She's driving now. Meanwhile, Jang's men have reached the Paris hotel where the mules are held. They kill the guards. Back in the car, police try to block Lucy's path, but she lifts safety poles with her mind, creating a crash and speeding ahead. At the hotel, Jang's men begin removing the drugs. One mule says he can't go under, so they shoot him. The other one, terrified, says he'll do it. Lucy and Del Rio arrive. Inside, a guard accidentally walks in and is shot. Chaos erupts. The last mule tries to escape, but is gunned down in the hallway. His body slides until Lucy calmly rests her foot on him. Jang's men surround her with guns. She doesn't flinch. She asks for the case. They laugh. The man holding it tries to leave, but Lucy locks him in place with an invisible force field. She lifts all the guns into the ceiling, paralyzes every man in the room, and sends the last guy flying through a wall. She walks over, takes the briefcase with no struggle. She tells Del Rio to come with her. He says he's no use. Lucy kisses him. You are, as a reminder. In the car, Del Rio asks where they're going. Lucy sets the sat-nav with her powers. As they leave, Mr. Young sees them and tells his driver to follow them. Cut to Samuel, now surrounded by scientists he trusts. Lucy calls. He tells her to come to the university, and she walks in instantly. He's speechless. She already knows everyone in the room. They question her. She grabs one of them and describes, in perfect detail, his daughter's fatal car crash. Everyone goes silent. Meanwhile, Zhang's men are inside the university. They're killing guards. Lucy tells Del Rio this. He rushes off to stop them. Lucy explains that everything we believe is wrong. Time is the only true unit of measure. Without it, we don't exist. Del Rio tries to hold off Zhang's men. One shoots him in the neck, but he keeps going. Lucy tells the scientists she'll build a supercomputer to store everything in her brain. They hook her to an IV filled with CPH4. Norman worries it's too much. She ignores him. Zhang's men fire an RPG into her room. In that moment, Lucy's consciousness is launched into space, time folding and collapsing around her. She sees the Eiffel Tower, New York, the birth of Earth, dinosaurs, a prehistoric monkey. Lucy raises a finger to the monkey, and as they touch fingers, Lucy is sent into space again. In the room, Zhang enters and puts a gun to her head. Just as he's about to fire, Lucy hits 100% brain capacity. Her body vanishes. She becomes the supercomputer. Confused, Zhang raises his gun at Samuel, but Del Rio shoots him dead. The room falls quiet. A scientist sees a flash on the machine. A small USB drive appears. Samuel takes it, and the entire computer dissolves. Del Rio looks around, stunned. Where is she? His phone buzzes. The screen flickers. A message appears, I am everywhere. Final shot, overhead on Mr. Zhang's dead body.
Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. Now you know what to do with it.